Big heart. Good morning. I welcome you all. Today we are meeting for this special webinar on challenges as women practitioners and mitigating the same. Today we have with us CMA MK Anand sir, Chairman Professional Development and Continuous Professional Education Committee of the Institute. Our speaker of the session, CMA Parvati Venkatesh, Practicing Cost Accountant. I welcome all of you to the session. First, I request CMA MK Anand sir to address the participants. Over to you.
कहाँ पर हैं participants? कितने लोग हैं?
Live.
अच्छा. Good morning to all. Thank you, Nidhi ji. And thank you, Parvati ji, for sparing some time from your extremely busy schedule, because I am aware that this period is very heavy for all of you. You see, today's meeting is primarily at the initiative of three ladies. I am not aware whether they are there or not, namely Mithilesh Gupta, Veena, and Shilpi. These three women, they are our members, and plus Madhvi. Madhvi is our elected central regional council member. She has also been expressing her concerns about the opportunities or lack of opportunity, particularly before the women practitioners. So all these three ladies met me a few days back, and they emphasized that we are not doing any programs, and I agree with them that they are very right. We have been doing general programs, but we have not done any specific women-centric program empowering women and all that, right? So this is today just first introductory program. I can assure you, our dear friends, that we will continue with this initiative maybe once in a month or maybe once in a 2 months. I will request Madhvi also, if she is there, to take up this note and then come with me, and then we will work out for working on this. So Parvati, from you are one of the very ardent, hardworking person. I know you since long. So I will request you to kindly highlight the problems faced by women practitioners, the areas available before them, the problems faced by them, then how can we increase their empowerment? That is one area I will request you. Second, as you are aware that recently we have got a very powerful cost audit committee report from the government. We are all working in that. So this also gives us an opportunity at the part of the institute to put up one full para or one full page on women empowerment. And we can emphasize in that these are the areas like, I mean, you are the best judge, you can always guide us, like health related, some soft areas where women, because women, you see, I hats off to them, they have to manage family, home, the relations, then their job, then their practice areas, and then so many things. So they are having so many balls up in air, which they are balancing. So today, I do not see any conclusions in this program, but this is only a beginning. This is only a beginning, and I will request Nidhi also that kindly remind me and please organize such program, particularly with our women members. This time, if it is North or this is all India. So this is all India, right? So all India now, I am seeing that almost 30% of our practitioners are from the fairer sex, basically. So this is the agenda of today's meeting. So after listening to you, Parvati, I will request all our participants also to air their views. So larger part we will devote in hearing from them. And if you can guide us, and then I assure all of you that we will make it a routine feature, maybe once in every month. So Nidhi will take care of that. So thank you very much for joining, Parvati. I know your schedule is extremely hectic. So I hand it over to I request Nidhi to kindly introduce our chief guest of this today's meeting. Thank you very much.
Now we have with us our speaker, CMA Parvati Venkatesh ma'am, for discussion on the topic challenges as women practitioners and mitigating the same. Before I start deliberations, I would like to briefly introduce her. Parvati Madam, a fellow member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, is a partner of Messrs. Ramanathan Iyer and Company Cost Accountants. He is a certified management accountant from IMA USA and certified strategic and competitive analyst. Actively associated with the industry chambers, she has over 24 years of experience in diverse areas of cost audit, consulting, internal audit, and system implementation in corporate sectors across diverse industries. She has been a consultant to the central ministries and member of the working group constituted for reviewing the Companies Act. She has been playing a constructive role in various committees and boards constituted by the Council of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. We welcome you, ma'am, and request you to start deliberations. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Nidhi. Before I start, I would just want to know that how many participants are there, and I presume that most of them are women, or maybe all of them are women except Mr. M.K. Anand.
Ma'am, around 80, all of our women from all over India.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Anand, as usual, for bringing me actively into the institute, always pushing me always. And I have this weakness for this profession. So, irrespective of whatever is the schedule, busy, non-busy, I try to take out some time for the well-being, for mutual well-being, actually. So. Uh, talking about the topic about the challenges as a woman in practice, and how to mitigate them. This is the topic given to me. But before that, I think we all need to accept that our profession itself is very challenging, right? So the women and men part comes later, but the challenges we are facing is not as mainly because of the gender, but mainly because we are in a profession which itself is struggling to create an identity. So that is the bigger challenge than this. But yes, since I had to give the perspective from a gender perspective, so I would stick to those deliberations here. So I think on a lighter vein, this seminar should be conducted for men instead of women, because women know what the challenges are. I don't have to tell them; they really know what the challenges are. But the men need to understand what the challenges are, because that's how the women will be able to mitigate the challenge. Because if the other gender also understand what the challenge is, I think that's the best way. One can communicate.
Just hold on, just hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Parvati. We are just joined by
Madhuri.
Madhvi, our elected council member from the
Yeah, I
North
know her.
region. So I am the only odd man out in this.
No, you're not, sir. You're not. I hope you're able to carry. I hope you are able to carry this, whatever the learnings from this, to the other men in the council.
We will do that. We will do that.
Because
We will do that.
as I was saying, welcome, Madhuri.
Hello.
Welcome. So as I was saying, the challenge is not because that we are women. The challenge is because we need to really push us across the male-dominated society. So this seminar should be conducted for men rather than women, for them to understand that what we can do and what we can deliver. So when we talk of challenges, I would say that we could categorize this into two, the professional challenges and personal challenges. So the personal challenge, mitigating personal challenges is lot dependent upon how you as a person is able to mitigate the challenge. The circumstance of one woman may not be the same for other women. interestingly, we had a discussion as a member of one thing in the introduction, one main thing, one recent development which was left out while introducing me was that I am also representing the institute in the SAFA Women Leadership Committee. So we had a recent seminar about 3-4 months ago in the South Asian Federation of Accountant Women Leadership Committee. Surprisingly, the topic was the same. That is the challenges faced by women in the profession. And it was really nice to know that the challenges are not different across the countries. This particular seminar was also attended by women from not only the SAFA countries but also from the US and the UK. This was a webinar, virtual. The challenges which were expressed were almost the same which we face in India as well. So they are not different. But the challenges which we face, as I categorized it into two, the personal and the professional. I'll take the personal one and try to generalize that the circumstances could be different, because the personal challenges are mainly, as I said, it is circumstance specific. There could be the thinking or the challenges could be different if you are single. If the challenges could be different if you're married. The challenges could be different if you are from a conventional thinking family. The challenges could be different from where you are from a modern thinking family. The financial situation can also bring in a challenge as a woman. So the circumstance is very important. I can't give you a solution, one-time solution for personal challenges, but I can give you some traits which I found were very common in successful women professionals. I'm not talking about our profession specifically, but successful women professionals. See, I won't say that there is a different kind of challenge in our profession vis-a-vis other profession. In any profession, women will definitely have challenges because of the gender biases. So what are the traits that I saw in some of the women? Sorry, I don't have a presentation, as Mr. Anand said that I have been traveling. Yesterday night I was back at 11:30 in the night. So I do not have a presentation, but I am just trying to speak my mind out. So as a successful women professional, some of the traits that I could see was quest for perfection. If you see or read the successful women who are there, whether they are entrepreneurs or they are professionals, this seven characteristics which I'm going to list out right now, if you see, you will see this as common. This is my analysis. I could be wrong, but I found that this is a common trait that I have seen. Number one, as I said, is quest for perfection. I see that as women, we are perfectionists, right? And we are never satisfied with whatever we do. We want to do it more perfectly. We expect perfection in everything. Even in our household duties, we see perfection in everything. So this is one characteristic, quest for perfection, which drives us to update us, to be more knowledgeable, to listen to others, to learn from others. These are some of the traits which I find which is more in women. Falling from this is eye for details. So when we look into any, go take up any activity, हम बहुत डिटेल में जाते हैं, हर चीज की डिटेल में घुसते हैं, right? This is one of the trait of a successful woman which I have seen. किसी का भी आप देख लो, किसी का भी एग्जाम्पल देख लो जो सक्सेसफुल है. Third, very strong willpower, right? The willpower is much stronger. करना है तो करना है, right? Come what may. Then ability to communicate. Now this ability to communicate is better, I find, in successful women who are in profession, because one is that they have a balanced mind and a lot of patience, and they are very understanding. So they're able to better handle a situation. Interpersonal skills are much better compared to the other gender. So their ability to communicate is definitely better. So the next skill that I have seen is excellent time management. I'm talking about successful women professionals. So now you can also take it as an input. If I have to be a successful women professional, ये चीजें मेरे में होनी चाहिए. आप ऐसे भी इसको ले सकते हो, बट ये चीज मैंने कॉमनली एनालाइज करी है जो सक्सेसफुल वुमेन है, ये मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है. Even including myself, I have also tried to take some learnings from successful women practitioners and implement. Excellent time management skills is another which is very, very important. And the most important thing that we all will agree is that balancing the personal life and the professional life. We do it beautifully. All successful professionals do it very nicely, and this is one skill which is very, very important. And last but not the least is assigning a lot of importance to ethics. We give a lot of weightage to ethics compared to our other gender. Whatever we do, we need to be ethical. We give more weightage to ethics. So these are the 7 points that I would say are very, very essential. And I have seen these in many professionals who are, see, if we talk about Indra Nooyi or very successful professionals, you would definitely examine and see these traits, 7 traits, personal traits. You can take it also as a learning कि ये मुझे अगर कोई भी इन सात में से कोई चीज आपको लगता है मेरे में कमी है, you need to work for it. You need to work towards it. Apart from this, one important thing जो मैं अपनी तरफ से ऐड करना चाहती हूँ is a very good fitness regime that each one of you should follow. A good physical, good fitness regime keeps you mentally also very fit, and this is one takeaway that I learned. I will like to accept that I learned at the age of 45, right? And I have been practicing a good fitness regime for last 8 years, and मैंने बहुत late समझा इस चीज को, but then I have been practicing that. So these are some things which you need to really add to your skills to be really successful. Now coming to the professional challenges. What are all the professional challenges? Uh, Gender bias and acceptability. These are again very general challenges. I won't say that it is a challenge only for the cost accounting professional women. No, they are general challenges. Gender bias and acceptability is still an issue in any profession. So we need to put little more efforts than our counterparts to prove ourselves. But having said that, I feel that this gender bias and acceptability issue will fade over a period of time as the next generation takes up. So just to give on a lighter vein and a small example, that today girls, I also have a grown up daughter, age 23. She's also working, but the way she is not the way that I was at the age of 23. She knows, the way she talks and the way she explains how the work culture is. The the men of her age, her co-workers, are more understanding, and they accept that you are putting in the same effort as me, right? So that acceptability in the next generation is catching up. Maybe in my generation or many other participants who are of my generation, or coping up with my generation, young professionals जो अभी अभी नए प्रैक्टिस में आए हैं, बट उनको जो कोप अप करना पड़ रहा है वो हमारे जैसे एज ग्रुप वालों के साथ कोप अप करना पड़ रहा है. ये चैलेंज हो सकता है बिकॉज कन्वेंशनल थिंकिंग अभी भी है, हमारी जनरेशन में है, मैं इस चीज को एक्सेप्ट करती हूँ. बट मेरे ख्याल से ये जो जेंडर बायस का चैलेंज है, ये विथ जनरेशन खत्म हो जाएगा. That's what I feel. I'm very positive about it, because the men and the boys who are going to be the future professionals are more understanding, are more accepting this fact that equity, equality is very, very important in this. Um, the second challenge which I feel in the professional area is area of practice. Now, area of practice may I feel that all areas of practice are equally open to you as it is open to men, whether it is insolvency, whether it is GST, whether it is inventory audit, whether it is cost audit. I don't think any you have an issue just because you are a women, you can't take up any area of practice. I don't think that is an issue. If you any of you feel that if that is an issue, I can take it and answer it at the time of Q&A. uh, what actually is needed is what you can take up any area of practice, but actually में क्या क्या होना चाहिए होना ये चाहिए कि we need to be very clear in establishing our goals. What do you where do you see yourself in next 10 years? आप क्या करना चाहते हो, कौन सा एरिया ऑफ प्रैक्टिस आप चूज करना चाहते हो, आप अगले 10 साल में आप अपने आप को कहाँ रीच करना चाहते हो? अगर आप अपने गोल्स को इन टर्म्स ऑफ मॉनेटरी वैल्यू डिफाइन कर रहे हैं कि मैंने आज प्रैक्टिस शुरू किया है, 10 साल बाद मेरा प्रैक्टिस जो है इट शुड मेरा टर्नओवर जो है 5 करोड़ हो जाना चाहिए। अगर आप अपनी मनी वैल्यू के बेसिस पे आप अपने आप गोल्स को डिफाइन कर रहे हो, वो प्रोफेशनल में नहीं चल सकता। इट इज नॉट, यू आर नॉट ट्रेडिंग इन कमोडिटी, you are giving a service. You can't define your goals in terms of monetary value. Monetary value can be assigned later. Your goals have to be defined based on your skill set, your ability, your circumstance. You have, say for example, you have young children. You are not able to devote much time going to office, coming back, commuting. That becomes a challenge. You can work around that time that is available to you. Take up an area today that with maybe not a very big scale, but giving quality service. Take up that area which you can easily do sitting at home, working from home, or devoting less time at the office but more time to the profession from home itself. Going forward, children will grow, children will have their own profession. You will have more time. At that time, you can't say that now I have time, I'll start my practice. You should start it very young. Do it in a small form or in a work from home format. Later on, you should grow gradually, you should grow consistently, sustainably. I'm sure you will be able to make it big if you do it in this manner. But completely quitting and then taking up after 20 years because you have more time, the biggest challenge is by that time profession में इतना development हो गया होगा that you are not in touch at all, you are outdated, right? So that is one of the challenge that you should not be. Be very clear and very consistent in your goals, considering your circumstance, considering your skill set, considering your knowledge. If another example, if you are very good in taxation, indirect taxation आपको interest बहुत interesting लगता है, आपको लगता है कि I can manage this sitting at home itself. In fact, I have one of my trainees, this girl, after leaving me, she got married to a chartered accountant, and that she was very good at cost audit. But like getting a cost audit, I know definitely for a newcomer is a challenge. So, however, she developed an interest. She later on thought that already my husband is into GST practice. Why don't I develop my interest in GST practice? Today, she is very successful. She is handling more than 100 accounts of GST along with her husband, and really doing very well, managing very well. So you need to understand what you are good at. Suppose you are very good at cost audit, but you are not able to devote much time because of it involves a lot of travel. You have a family commitment. There are many parts in a cost audit which can be done from, you can join with a good firm and contribute your services, which can be done sitting at home. analyzing the report, talking to the client over virtual calls. If you are really good at the subject, I'm talking about that. If you're just a starter, then virtually it won't help. But if you are already good at the cost audit, but you want to take a break because of children being young, you can still be connected by connecting with a firm and giving your service to them, saying that I can be involved in these audits. I can do it virtually. I can do the analytical part. Once the data comes, I can do a comparison, previous year comparisons and analysis part. I can play a role. I can partner in doing that. So these are some of the examples that I can tell you, which you can involve yourself. Skill development, skills and knowledge is very, very important, because I will give my own example. I got carried away in the area of IBC. When this insolvency thing came up, I gave the exam, and I cleared, and I took up the insolvency professional certificates. But then I spoke to few lawyers who are already in the insolvency profession, and tried to understand that what kind of work is involved in the insolvency profession. When I understood the kind of work, I said, this is not my cup of tea. My area of interest is not insolvency. I surrendered my practice as an insolvency practitioner. I surrendered my certificate because I understood that this is not my cup of tea. I can't do it. My interest is more towards cost management, cost analysis, cost advisory. That was of more interest to me, rather than the legal part and running around, doing the running around for legal matters. That's not my area of interest, and I quit that. But at the same time, I then started finding out what should I do more apart from my cost accountancy qualification. If I am interested in advisory to management on cost reduction, cost management, सिर्फ cost accounting की qualification से ये हो सकता है क्या? I realized, no, I can't do it. I need to understand business strategy, right? For that, either I do MBA or I do a short-term course which will give me a fair idea of what strategy, how businesses make their strategy. So now MBA was a full-time thing, 2.5 years of dedication, which I could not do. I understood that is not possible for me. Then I found out this IMA USA, which Nidhi introduced me as, where they have a course called CSCA, which is certification in competitive and strategic analysis, which with the subject and the curriculum was very interesting. So that is how I obtained my CSCA, which took me about 8 to 9 months of study, and I appeared for the exam in 2020 during COVID, and I cleared it. So that has been one important value add to my profile, because this how businesses formulate strategies, and how my costing knowledge can be connected to strategy was very evident. That is the value add I could do. One, I learned what is strategy, how strategies are built in businesses. I have the costing knowledge. I connected both of them so that I could give some value addition to my clients. So this is the way one need to perceive, and go about it. Um, don't Another advice that I would say is that don't put your foot in everything. कुछ मैंने कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट्स देखे हैं, उन्होंने कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग की फर्म में जीएसटी भी कर रहे हैं, हम इंसॉल्वेंसी भी कर रहे हैं, हम कॉस्ट ऑडिट भी कर रहे हैं. If you put your foot in everything, you can't perfect everything. Of course, if it is an LLP and you are one of the partner, your area of expertise should be one which you feel that as per your skill and knowledge you can contribute. You cannot be king in everything, right? Unless and until you are a prodigy. Those are exceptions. At least I am not. If once you have decided that this is the area of practice that I am good at, constant updation of knowledge is very, very important. It is not enough that you have qualified your cost accountancy exam. No, you remain a student throughout your life. That is the beauty of being in profession. And when you're talking about constant upgradation of knowledge, आपकी एरिया में कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग एरिया में क्या हो रहा है सिर्फ वो समझना काफी नहीं है, जीएसटी एरिया में क्या हो रहा है वो समझना सिर्फ काफी नहीं है, आईबीसी में क्या हो रहा है सिर्फ वो समझना काफी नहीं है. You need to have a complete knowledge of what all the other laws, क्या बाकी क्या प्रोफेशन में इंडस्ट्री में क्या चीज हो रहा है जो डायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली आपके प्रोफेशन को इफेक्ट कर सकती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, we do a lot of certification as cost accountants, right? हम लोग लोकल कंटेंट सर्टिफिकेशन करते हैं, हम लोग FICC की सर्टिफिकेशन करते हैं, बट डू वी नो दैट लोकल कंटेंट सर्टिफिकेशन के पीछे हमारी MOP, द पॉलिसी which has been issued, the purchase policy that has been issued by the Ministry of Commerce. Then they have also delegated the nodal ministries जो अपनी MOP issue कर रही हैं, MOP related laws issue कर रही हैं. Nodal ministries को भी power दिया गया है कि वो अपने purchase से related policy उससे align करके खुद भी issue कर सकती हैं. Local content calculation करने का methodology भी prescribe कर रखा है उस policy के अंदर. जो लोकल कंटेंट आप सर्टिफाई कर रहे हो और जो पॉलिसी में प्रिस्क्राइब कर रखा है, क्या वो कंपनी फॉलो कर रही है कि नहीं कर रही. जो मेरी इंस्टीट्यूट की गाइडलाइंस हैं रिगार्डिंग लोकल कंटेंट सर्टिफिकेशन, एम आई फॉलोइंग? डू आई हैव ऑल द एविडेंस दैट आई नीड टू कलेक्ट बिफोर आई सर्टिफाई? So this certification work, believe me, is the most riskiest that I have seen as a practitioner than even cost audit. So don't take the certification so lightly, because if giving the example of local content, suppose you have certified a local content and the certification is found to be faulty, the company for whom you have given the certificate will be blacklisted by the GEM portal and will be notified at the GEM portal that this company is blacklisted. And then imagine what will be your plight. You would have certified the local content of a company which is blacklisted. So you can see how it is going to affect your goodwill, right? So my word of caution as far as certification is concerned. Another example, I do a lot of certification for FICC for one of my clients, which is into fertilizers. So when this company came to me that we have changed the cost auditor and now you are the cost auditor. Apart from the cost audit, we also get certification on FICC matters, fertilizer ministry matters, which you need to certify. There are some technical inputs which go and some annual cost data, ACD related data and subsidy related data which we need to certify. So the first thing I said was, I would certify only if you tell me what the FICC wants, what is the intent of FICC. वो पूरा लॉ मेरे को आप पढ़वाइए, मैं एक बार गो थ्रू करूंगी. आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड मेरी सर्टिफिकेशन को FICC कैसे यूज कर रही है. इन दैट मैटर आई आस्क देम, देयर आर सम सेट फॉर्मेट्स, एज हमारी कॉस्ट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट की जैसी फॉर्मेट्स है वैसे ही FICC की कुछ फॉर्मेट्स हैं. आई सेड दैट FICC का नोटिफिकेशन जिसमें ये फॉर्मेट पब्लिश हुई है, आप मुझे वो लाके दिखाइए. बिलीव मी, 10 days they were searching for that notification, because that notification came somewhere in the 1990s. They were searching for that notification. They did not have the copy. I said, how do you say that ये फॉर्म 2A, फॉर्म 10A, आपने ऐसे मेरे को 15 फॉर्म दिए हैं, मेरे को साइन करना है, मैं कैसे जान लूं कि यही फॉर्मेट है, ये फॉर्मेट चेंज नहीं हुए, मुझे कैसे पता? Show me that the notification, I will sign based on that only. And they said, इससे पहले तो कभी किसी ने ये नहीं पूछा. मैंने कहा, I can't certify unless and until you give me this. Finally, what happened was through my contacts, I could get hold of another friend of mine who's working in a fertilizer company and is aware of this. They had preserved this 1990 notification, and he sent me a photocopy of that. And through me, this client of mine, they got this photocopy through me, and they were really thankful that हमें इतने दिन पता ही नहीं था कि ये format कहाँ से है. उन्होंने FICC से पूछा, even FICC did not have a copy, right? That is the kind of ethics and that kind of care you need to take when you are giving such certification. So overall, I'm not saying that only in certification. I'm saying in anything you do it with a true professionalism. Then only you get a name, you become successful. Any short-term things will not be consistently or sustainable, for that matter. If I talk about, because I can talk about only what I do. If you ask me to elaborate on GST matters, I won't. I don't practice GST. But yes, if you ask about cost audit, we know that cost audit is an annual exercise. साल में एक बार करते हैं. But that doesn't make it. It makes us more responsible, because lightly हमें लेना नहीं है, because you are reporting on a matter for the whole year. It is not one period of time. So the knowledge about the company, what has happened in this one whole year, how was the first quarter, how was the second quarter, how was the third quarter, how would you come to know? There are two sources. Either the company shares all the information with you, or you attend wherever possible, where you are called for audit committee meetings, you should attend. If you are not called for audit committee meetings, you should definitely take it up with the management that we are also statutory auditors appointed by the statute under the Companies Act. Why should we not be attending audit committee? How are we supposed to know about the working of the budgetary control system, the internal control system, which we certify on the face of our audit report, unless and until the company involves us in the major meetings where internal controls and internal audit is being discussed. अगर हम उधर हम invited ही नहीं है, हमें क्या जरिया है हमें पता करने का कि whether the internal audit mechanism or the internal control mechanism is working finely. Apart from this knowledge, you need to also understand how the industry is behaving. You know about the cost auditing standards which are there. I don't want to repeat that, 101 to 104. And one important cost auditing standard is knowledge of business. So knowledge of business is also very, very important. What do you mean by knowledge of business? What is happening at your client place? Reading their annual reports, continuously updating yourself as to, suppose you have I have 5 steel industry client. What is happening in the steel industry? What technology is really a turnaround technology for steel industry? How one company is using a particular technology which is to their disadvantage, hence increasing costs for them, whereas another client of yours is using another technology which has drastically reduced their power consumption, for example. These kind of comparisons should be a continuous process. As far as I see it, I don't see the whole year as season and not season. ये audit का season है, ये audit का season. Off season is when you upgrade your knowledge, and the season is when you perform, right? So this off season, I don't say anything as off season at all. We continuous knowledge upgradation चलता ही रहना चाहिए throughout the year. That is how you have to. And the last skill which I would like to highlight is how your profession is affected by the information and technology, ERP systems. Say, for example, in my field of cost audit, I feel that most of my clients are on SAP. So my knowledge of SAP being limited, SAP कैसे work करता है, कैसे cost populate होती है SAP में, ये knowledge मेरे में नहीं है, तो I am a failure. I need to upgrade. I'm not saying, I know that SAP courses are very expensive. Don't go for a complete SAP course. But there are short-term courses which are running in SAP. In fact, I would request Mr. M.K. Anand that to seriously look into upgrading the knowledge of SAP in our own professionals, because this is something which is catching up like fire now, and the limited knowledge about SAP is a very big drawback while performing cost audits. So IT as an enabler, whether it is SAP, whether it is Oracle, working knowledge is definitely important, because when you would have faced, many of you are practicing cost accountants, when you interact with your client and some suggestions that you give, they say no, it is not possible in SAP to implement this. How would you debate with them? How do you argue with them that it is possible in SAP? SAP में ये feature है, इसके through आप कर सकते हो, जब आपको knowledge ही नहीं है SAP के बारे में, right? So IT as an enabler, no knowledge of IT in whatever field you are, right, is very, very important. So this is what I wanted to say. I am really happy to be here always and to interact with fellow professionals. And in case you have any questions, I'll be very, very happy to answer. One thing I have been having in mind is I would like to, this is a good occasion to put this across, is that we should look forward in India. I don't know about any firm, a professional accounting firm across the world, which is a pink firm. Pink firm is completely run by the females. So I think we could be a unique profession. Maybe some of we women can look into this and think about starting a firm of cost accountants completely run by females, where all the partners are females, all the working executives are females. This is one thought which has been ringing in my mind for a very long time. So this is a good forum where I wanted to put my wish in this forum. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Parvati. Thank you very much for your very comprehensive and, as usual, very detailed and informed insights into the areas of cost auditing and the issues faced during this thing. Actually, somehow we cannot hear from them directly. I'll request next time, please make it an interactive session, Nidhi. Well, this is a one-way street, which is a very boring to my mind. That people should be able to communicate
it has
back.
To be interactive.
Yeah, people should be able to. I mean, they may be writing some questions and all that. So we have Madhvi with us. Madhvi will like to share some views or something, because you remember we spoke yesterday about this basically.
Thank you so much, ma'am. आपने जो बताया कि विल पावर, तो विल पावर होना बहुत जरूरी है. अगर हमारी खुद की इच्छा नहीं होगी कुछ करने की, so we can't do anything. तो मेरे पास जो फीमेल मेंबर्स हमारी आती हैं, वो यही इशू लेकर आती हैं, फ्रॉम वेयर वी कैन स्टार्ट ना, व्हेन वी कैन स्टार्ट. एक इशू से होता है क्योंकि अभी वो उनके बच्चे हैं, काफी मतलब उस एज से वो सफर कर रही हैं, फैमिली जो भी है वो पर्सनल इश्यूज है उनके, वो इनको एक ही इशू है कि कैसे हम कहाँ से सीखें, कहाँ से लर्न करें, कहाँ से स्टार्ट करें. उनका सिर्फ ये इशू है, और अभी तो कोई इशू उनका नहीं. जॉब वाले में कोई इशू नहीं है, इशू सिर्फ प्रैक्टिशनर के साथ है.
I would इस चीज पे हमारा डेलिब्रेशन साफा WLC में भी इसके बारे में हुआ था, where some of the members like UK and Pakistan, they gave us one very good solution and an example. I would definitely bring it forward to the institute also to consider. On their website, जो उनकी professional website जो है, institute की website है, they have one field called mentors, women mentoring, right? So where on a click of the button, the women professionals can ask for mentoring. So there could be certain volunteers, say for example myself, we can be mentors, and like empanelment of mentors, there'll be 6, 7, 10 mentors who are ready to guide the young professionals who want to take up this profession. So there are mentoring sessions जिसकी appointment लेके वो suitable time they will have. जैसे there are 5-10 students, young professional हैं, उनको mentoring करना है, they want some counseling session. This can be arranged virtually also. So the appointment can be fixed over the website through that interactive field उसके लिए, जैसे chat with us or something like that. And then they can either can be a virtual meet for these 10 students or 2 students or 3 students, can be appointment can be fixed and they can be mentored, or they can send their questions and the mentor can answer them through email. So I think this will be a very good idea that empanelment of women professionals who have experienced professionals as mentors, and young professionals can approach them for any kind of mentoring. This can be a sustainable and good solution. Instead of one time कभी एक बार ऐसा सेशन कर दिया, मैंने बोल दिया और मैं निकल गई, उसके बाद उनको फिर और क्वेश्चंस होंगे तो वो फिर अगले सेशन पता नहीं कब होगा उसकी वेट करेंगे. That will not be a very sustainable thing. I think our institute can also think of configuring women mentoring chat box or something like that on our website, and some of good professionals can empanel and provide their services as mentors.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
Ma'am, any question?
नहीं, वही discuss करना.
Actually,
I think next time we can make it interactive.
yeah, we should make it interactive.
Yeah.
Because this is as if we are sitting in a closed room and with no windows and just talking to ourselves.
True.
That is not fair, actually, to the participants also, because they may like to say something. Next time,
Yeah.
please ensure that it is
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there coming out something coming out through the chat box? If anybody can check, if the chat box is working and somebody has put any questions through the
आपका कोई
through the
chat box में तो
It's not there. Ma'am, we have announced. Right now, we don't have any questions.
Okay, fine. No,
ठीक.
in case there
No problem.
are anything, you can
Yeah.
pass it on to me through to my email ID. Not a problem.
Thank you very much, Parvati, for sparing your very valuable time. And I request you to also take out time to give your comments on our report also. We are working
Definitely.
very heavily on. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you
very
so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
much. ये बहुत बढ़िया है. मैं इसके फादर को जानता हूँ. इसके फादर मेरे पास आते थे.